Hi guys, hello. Let me just quickly share my screen and welcome all you guys to the webinar. Let me just share my screen and we can start off. So, thank you so much for joining the webinar, right? And this is Ranjana Verma. I am your host, and today I would be presenting three of our tools, that is Kanban Board, Map My Relationships, and Business Process Checklist. Okay, all of them help you in different ways to have a clearer view or have a clearer visualization so that the decision making or the or your productivity increases, right? So let's just start now. Before we start off with the webinar, let me just give you the logistics over here. So all lines will be muted throughout the call. In case you have any questions or queries, you can just type them on the chat, and at the end I would be happy to answer, right? Having that said, before we dive into the three of our productivity visualization tools, let me just explain or give you a brief about our company. So Inogic has been in industry for for more than 15 years now. Okay, and we are a ISV partners. We have somewhere around 16 plus productivity apps. Some of them are listed over here, and year by year we are adding. So the latest addition to the grid is this omni-channel apps, right? So we have WhatsApp for Dynamics, text SMS for Dynamics, live chat, basically an integration of these apps with your Dynamics CRM, right? Similarly, we have one more new addition in terms of data quality, that is dedupe. What it does, it helps you to merge the duplicates and have a concise data with you, right? Apart from that, we have some others as well. And these are all our products. Apart from this, we are also into services. That is, we are also into offshore development and customization. So in case you want to customize or just reach out to us for any consulting, we would be happy to help you out. And yeah, you can reach out to us at crm@inogic.com. Now, taking the discussion ahead, let me just clear the agenda for today. So first, we'll just understand the need of these apps. We'll just go through the features of what I am going to display in today's call. And then comes the live demonstration of these tools, followed by the Q&A, that is question and answer by you guys, right? So need for productivity in CRM. Okay, or visualization, if I have to say, right? So if you have a clear visualization, firstly, in our day-to-day lives, we usually work around rows and columns and so on in CRM. What happens is you cannot see data beyond that, right? But when you have proper diagrammatical or a proper representation of your data, maybe in rows and columns and certain filters and certain criteria based, your decision making process increases. Not only that, you're working, the time consumed between the tabs or the time consumed just figuring things out becomes much more lesser, right? So your meetings get down very fast because all your data is in visualized state. All you can understand is pie charts and everything. This that becomes much more easy to comprehend, right? And in our day-to-day life, even as a manager, I will be able to see in a much more clearer way what is happening with my team if everything is in a proper structured form, right? So what it does is basically it gives you a visibility, a increased visibility. The flexibility is much more because all your data is at one place and in one board altogether, right? And it doesn't create a bottleneck over there, right? All your data is what you see. So the decision making is much more clearer and the efficiency also increases, right? Now, some of the features that I would be showcasing would be first is the Kanban view. Okay. So that is the Kanban board, how it supports BPF, that is business process flows. Okay. What all you can do, you can have, quick action buttons that I would be showcasing here. Then comes map my relationship, wherein you get a 360 view of what is happening with your record with a single record. And this is a very amazing thing that you would be going to see. when I take you through the live demonstration. Right. The next one is map my connections. So again, a part of my MMR itself, but yeah, a slight different in the connection part, but I'll, again take you through that. Then comes child configuration and business process checklist, and its step-by-step follow plan. So again, business process checklist will allow you to create your own custom plans and activities against it. Another cool thing that we have. So I'll just take you through in the live demonstration of these three tools. Okay. So let me just go back and switch to my CRM. That is this one. Okay. Just a second. I think now it is visible, the screen, right? So here, as you can see, I am, this is the day-to-day work that we do on CRM. I am in my sales hub on the accounts entity. These are all my records that I have in my system. Now here, the problem is my view is restricted to only this area, wherein I can see the statuses. All of them are inactive and so on. Like even if I go for leads and all leads, I can see the statuses also. There is topic, there are owners, there is status, different statuses and all. But my view is only restricted to these things, right? I cannot see beyond that. Of course, I can add multiple columns, but again, I'll have to scroll through it or uh, you know, uh, it would be only 5 records or 6 records that I see in a glance over here, right? So to overcome that view, what we have is a compact view of Kanban board. Okay. So what it does is it basically creates cards for you over here. Okay. That takes up with respect to each of these columns, there are separate tabs or cards based on their respective stages. So now what you see over here, that is new, contacted, qualified, lost, cannot contact, so on and so forth, is nothing but my business flow for leads that we usually have. Okay. But if you have, this is the default view. But if you want to have your business flows, we can have the business flows as well, like leads to opportunity. If you guys have a business flow around it, so you can have that as well. Okay. So we support business process flows as well. And if I have to tell you that, Kanban board will be installed in your CRM, but again, that doesn't mean that it is a different part altogether. It is same as your CRM only. Okay, it is a part of your CRM. In fact, I would say, right? So as soon as I click on this card over here, you see the ribbon bar has changed. So you see the ribbon bar has changed. And now if I want to edit this, I can use the edit button. If I want to qualify, I can use the qualify button. If I want to delete this lead, I can use the delete button over here, right? So I can use any card, I can use any option that is present within the CRM on the Kanban board. It's not a different app altogether. Similarly, if you want to search anything, you can go ahead and search it, and it is going to reflect on the board here itself, right? Now, coming to the look and feel of Kanban board. So as you can see, first is there is global sort. Okay. So in case you want to sort the entire board based on any one of these attributes, definitely you can do that. If you want to sort it based on owners, you can do that, or lead source or something like that. You can, create your own filters or, add up your own attributes and just filter it accordingly. Similarly, this was about the entire board, that is global sorting. If you see very closely, you can see that there are individual sorting as well that is present. So if I want to individually sort a particular column based on any of my criteria, maybe lead source, created on, owner, anything like that, again I can go ahead and do that, right? So that is again one of the part that gives you a flexibility to filter however you want. Now if you see, all my leads are segregated based on new, contacted, qualified, based on the stages that they are on, right? But not only that, there is not only a column grouping, but also rows grouping. Okay. So now each of these leads are again categorized based on their respective stages. Okay. Or their warmthness, if I have to say. Okay. So we have hot leads, we have warm leads, and we have cold leads as well. So when I have the traditional view, this becomes very difficult for me to understand which is warm, which is cold, which is, hot. But here I can just simply drag this down and I'll know which all are my hot leads and I can work with them very separately. I can start my day with hot leads first and then go with the colder ones and then the warmer ones, however I please. In fact, the messaging would be quite different. When it comes to hot leads, I might approach them very differently. When it comes to cold leads, I might approach them very differently, right? So this gives you a much more clearer view in terms of your filtration as well. Okay. And we also have one more feature wherein you can add aggregates. Okay. So if you want to have certain numerical value, let's say sum of everything that is in new, sum of everything that is in qualified. So you can have that aggregate view as well over here, right? Now talking, this was the entire board. Now talking about a card. So I would like to, draw your attention towards this one. Look at it, how concise it is. Okay. So I have only the details that I want. Okay. So this is again customizable. I can have only the details that I want. As a salesperson, I might want to have their last name created on or owner. You can have your industry, description, something like that. Okay. So you can have your own descriptions over here so that at a glance, I can just look into it and I can have my next steps done. I don't have to actually open it up in a different tab and then, understand things. Similarly, if I want to perform any task, okay, I can perform right from here itself. I can add an appointment button as well as an activity over here. So I can create appointments right from here. If I want to send anything, I can send them emails right from this particular tab. I don't have to juggle between the tabs. That is what the point of visualization tool is, right? Similarly, we have also made it, if you want to personalize it to a depth, so you can add your own images as well. So here, if you want to add your lead images or company images, we can add that. If you want to add your owner images, here is something that you can do, right? So these are how concise a card can be, right? But in rarest of the rare case, let's say you want to open this up and work on it. So you can just double click on it, the record would open up, and then what you can do is you can perform your actions. Let's say you want to add something to the description or update maybe street or something, right? So if you want to do whatever you want, you can just do it from here, close this up, and again you are back to the same board. So it's not like you have opened several tabs over here. You can just do it from here and just get done with it, right? So this was more about the card. Now another cool feature that we have is, let's say this person, I have mailed him and he has mailed me back saying that I want a demo maybe tomorrow. So ideally, the lead should go from new stage to the contacted stage, right? So one way of doing it is I open the lead, I go ahead here and change the status as contacted. Or the another way, or the best way, is just to simply drag and drop my card, right? So like this. I've dropped my card in the contacted. Let's see what happens. So yeah, the contacted status has changed. Okay. So you have this functionality of drag and drop, wherein if you drag it on the respective lane, it is going to change itself accordingly, right? So this is how it works. And another feature that we have is move to. Let's say you have more lanes, not only five, but you have like 10 to 15 lanes in that case. So you can use this move to option wherein you can select your lanes and then you select your rows, these ones, and then click on confirm. It is going to go ahead and add it under that, right? So this is all about Kanban board as a whole. Of course, we have, a few more features that are very personalized and customized. Let's say if you want to have different colors of cards based on their attributes. So we can have different colors of cards as well. One of our clients, what he wanted was, in an account record, I want a Kanban view of what all cases is open for that particular record of or that particular account. So yes, that is again a part of our tool that we do. So there is a lot of other features, but due to time constraint I haven't showed you yet. But it would be great if you can reach out to me personally, just mail us, and I'll be happy to connect with you with respect to your unique use cases personally, right? So this was all about Kanban view. Now let's go for the second tool that we have in the system is map my relationship, right? So map my relationship is nothing but what is happening with this particular record of mine. Okay. So there is one account that is a datum. Now I want to see which all contacts are associated with it. How many codes are open around it? How many opportunities did we close? Right? A lot of things I want to see. So one of the traditional ways, you go into the related ones, you open up these tabs, then you understand, okay, this is the thing, or okay, these many codes were generated. These are the orders that were generated, right? So one of the ways you go on each of these and then see. Another cool way is just to use map my relationship. Okay, so let me just expand this up. So map my relationship becomes much more easy because at the center you have your a datum over here. I can see that there are 4 opportunities that are associated with a datum. There are 5 contacts that are under a datum. So if anyone is not responding to me, maybe I can reach out to the other 3 or other 4 of them, right? There were 3 emails sent and 2 appointments that were created over the period of time, right? If I want to again look at it like what exactly opportunities are created, I can just double tap on it and I see out of these 4 opportunities, one is in one stage, the other 3 are still in progress, right? So what I've done is I've grouped the opportunities again further. So grouping is another one of our features that you can add. Now, if I hover over it, I can just see that I have one somewhere around 43,000, okay, in my pocket. So already one opportunity is one and 3 opportunities still in a pending stage. That is, 25,000 still in the pending stage. Okay. If I want to see which all 3 opportunities are, right. So these are the 3 opportunities, right, that are still in the pending stage or in the progress stage. And if I hover over them, I am able to see certain information at a glance. Again, what we saw in the Kanban board was basically just to make sure that you don't have to open up the whole thing again. Everything should be here. So we try to add as much as possible, right? So here you see some information at a glance. And if you want to perform some actions like we did in the Kanban board, here also you can perform your actions right from one tab. We make sure that you don't have to juggle between the tabs. That is, that is very something that is very clear to us, right? Now, if I want to see which stakeholder it belongs to, I can just double tap on it and I'll know that, Maria is someone whom I can reach out to for this particular opportunity of mine, right? So this is how you see I started with a datum as a account and I have reached to a stakeholder of an opportunity right from one particular view here itself, right? So this is the beauty of you can say MMR, right? Now, similarly, let's say you might say that if I have, let's say, 10 to 15 opportunities, how would it look like? So it would look like the same. And we again have another option of, viewing it in a tabular format. So I can just click on this and the tabular format would appear over here. I can just look at it. If I want to search anything, I can do that as well for a clear view, right? Similarly, if I spoke to a datum corporation and they say that I have one more exciting opportunity for you. So right from here itself, I can create another opportunity which will be associated with a datum and other details that are present over here by clicking new opportunities, right? So you can create your new opportunities right from this tab. Again, you don't have to shuffle or do anything. So look how concise and how proper it is, right? I'm not uh, I have opened so many things, but just on a single tab. I haven't used any other things, right? Now another cool feature is filtration. So we create these views based on specific criteria or filtrations that we have in mind, right? So if you want to see all opportunities that are associated with a datum, you can select all opportunities, what I have selected. But let's say if you have any specific view, opportunities that are open this week, right? So if I click on this, only the opportunities that were open this week will open up. So this is kind of a filtration that you can use. Uh, this is how we work around the views as well, right? So I hope Map My Relationship is clear. Again, like I said, there are much more functionalities to these tools, but in in the interest of time, I'm just keeping it as constrained as possible. If you want to know more about it, I'm happy to jump on a call and assist you there, right? So this was Map My Relationship. Now again, we have one more similar to that, which is very specific to the connection control. Okay, so wherein you can only visualize your connections in a much more better way. Okay, so let me again maximize it. Yeah. So this is specially created for your connections so that you know how a datum is connected with other, other of your contacts and other of your records. So if I open this up, there are two employees that I am associated with. There are two, you see over here, there are two partners that are associated with it. So with this, what I can see is you have different colors for each of these connections, which becomes much more easy for me to understand what relation it has with the, a datum. So there is color legend. And also one more thing that you see is there is a datum as a company that is registered with me. There are two other companies also. But if I don't have this view, I might not register or I might not recall that there are two other partners also in association with a datum. So I can reach out to them separately with separate reasoning and tell them, a datum is already a partner. Why don't you become our partners? And so on and so forth, right? So I can ask a reference and maybe that becomes it keeps my case strong, right? So these connections help you in that way wherein you understand how they are associated and then you can accordingly take your business decisions, right? If I see colleagues, so yellow represents colleagues, right? So this is how we do here. Again, you can add your images, custom images to these. Okay, we are using the simple images, but if you have your own icons, your own images, we can add those as well, right? So this was all about Map My Relationship and Map My Connection, wherein this gives you a 360 view of your entire CRM just in one glance over here, okay? Of how a record is associated with other records or other entities of your system, right? So this was MMR or Map My Relationships. Now comes the last tool, last but not the least, that is business process checklist, right? Now we all work in the CRM, we all work around business flows, right? That we create for each of this. Maybe lead to opportunity, there's one business flow. For opportunity to closure, there is another business process flow. For cases, you might have another separate business flows, right? And with each of these flows or with each of these steps, you have certain actions that a person should be performing, your salespeople or your teammates should be performing in order to have a better, a better data and better maybe customer service, client interaction, anything like that, right? A standard procedure that you have in your system. Like we have as a in Inogic, what we have is that once a lead comes in, you should send them a welcome mail. Okay. So how do I define if I am new to the system, if I'm a new salesperson and this lead gets attached to me, how do I proceed? What exactly do I send as a welcome mail if there is any template or anything? I should be knowing about that, right? So I believe that there would be sales training, but in CRM it becomes much more easy with that because for qualify a plan for this particular lead, a plan got attached automatically. And as a first step, it is telling me to send a welcome mail, right? So I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to wait for anything. I can just simply see it is welcome mail, right? Now, if I want to know what exactly is that welcome mail, if I scroll down, we have also created an associated activity for you. Okay, so you don't again have to worry. You can just open this up. You can add your templatized email and send them right from here, mark it as complete, and then go ahead and mark this step as complete. In case you want to skip it, let's say you already know this person, you can jump directly to the demo. Just skip it. Okay, however you please. So as soon as I click on tick, 50% of the things are done. Now I can just refresh this entire thing. Okay, and then it would open up the next step for me, right? So again, this might take few minutes, or sorry, few seconds, because I haven't really sent the email, right? So it is checking on the back end. So let's just give it a few seconds. And yeah, the second step is open for me. Now arrange a demo call. If I want to do that, I can, here again, there is, again, you can have another activity that says maybe a phone call activity or a video call activity, however you want, or a task rather. So you can create a respective task against it, right? Once the demo is done, we go to the next step, that is development, wherein you get more details about this. That is, maybe product information document. If the person doesn't respond after a few minutes, or sorry, after a few hours, then you have a follow-up email. So on and so forth. You have definitions of each of these processes, and there are steps that a person should follow in order to get a lead smoothly onboarded with us, right? So this is what a business process checklist does for you. It basically attaches itself to the record so that your salespeople doesn't have to worry about it. Now, let me take you to the configuration of this to give you much more context around it. So just a second, let me go to the BPC app. Yes. Okay. So here, this is where you create your plans. Okay. So this is one plan that I've created for leads. Now, this was what we saw here was a process wherein if I tick this one, if only I can complete or skip it, the other one would open up. And if I complete this, then I can go to the next development stage. You see, these are frozen, right? But what if you have a checklist? Okay, you don't have a process to follow. There's no dependency. So we have another thing that is called checklist. Okay. So let's say you have there is a process called vendor onboarding. Okay. And you need a certain list of documents from the vendor. Okay. It could be registration number, their bank details, so on and so forth. Now, each of these documents are not dependent on each other, right? As and when they come, you need to tick them, right? So then in that case, you can use checklist. Checklist is something that you can do in any order. It is not dependent on you. Okay. So that is what a checklist does. So this was one part. And now second is the kind of plan. Now here what we saw was a business process flow that is already defined in my system. Okay. But what if I have a custom flow, right? That is something that my businesses follow, right? It is a custom flow. So I can create those custom groups manually and then attach each plan to it and so on and so forth. So you can use custom groups as well. Now, this was more about how the business flows look like. Now, this is another cool feature that says, how do you want the plan to be attached? Okay. So there are two parts. One is simple, that any leads comes in my system, the plan should get attached irrespective of what exactly it is. But then we have something called as advance as well, wherein let's say, wherein let's say you have uh, there are leads that are coming from social media, there are leads that are coming from website, and then there are leads that are coming from app source maybe, right? So each of these leads should be catered in a different way or should be assigned to a different different flows, right? So in that case, instead of using the simple one, you can use the fetch XML. You can put in your attributes. Let's say a lead is via website, you have different mails, do you have different steps to follow. If it is from social media, so you know that you have to entice them with videos or something like that, so then again a different flow is associated with it. So you can create multiple criterias of these plans and then keep it, and accordingly it is going to attach itself to the records, right? And these are how the steps look like. So you see, for qualify there are two steps, that is welcome mail and arrange demo calls, and each of them is followed by an action, right? Similarly, we have develop, propose, and so on and so forth. So this is where you develop your process flows and everything. Your custom group is also developed over here, right? So this is again all about BPC, that is, business process checklist and all its advantages. Nonetheless, like I said, every business is unique. So we would love to have you on a one-to-one call to help you out. Now, let me just give you an overview of all the three tools, and then we can wrap up the session. Okay. So the first one was Kanban, wherein you can see all your data, all your records in one single view in a much more concise manner, with a lot of much more details that are needed for you to, work on this, right? Then comes on a record level. Okay. So this is on a record level. I can have a 360 view of what exactly is happening with my account over here, right? So right from account to the association of codes or opportunities, I can go to N level deep. Okay. This is 1:N relationship, N is to N relationship. It supports both of them. So yeah, this is how you look at it. Another cool extension to it is map my connections specifically for your connections. And then comes business process checklist, wherein you can create your own business flows, the steps associated with it, so that your users are not confused and your rules are intact, or you can say your flows or business, you know, your business flows or plans are intact, and it is followed by each of your users, right? So this is all about all the three tools that we have. Now let's get back to our uh, you know PPT. Just a second. Yeah. So I have one small poll over here. Whatever I have spoken so far is, listed in that poll. Just vote for what exactly is, what exactly resonates with you. It would be great if you can just add your, votes. Really help me understand things. Okay, I believe you guys have voted because I cannot see it on my screen right now. But yeah, I believe you guys have voted. So let's get to the second one that is available. So all the three tools are available on online as well as on-premise deployment, and it supports Dynamics 365 CRM as well as Dataverse. Let's go to the Q&A section. Let me stop sharing and let me see if there's any questions in the chat window. Okay, Kareem mentioned that oh, he cannot hear me. I hope after that everything was audible. In the Q&A section, I do not see any questions, but it would be great if you can, if you have any questions, it would be great if you can, add it over here. For now, I believe there is none. So in case you have, you can just reach out to crm@inogic.com, and I can help you, right? Uh, Now, yeah. So yeah, for skipping the Q&A, as a next step, let me just tell you, all these three tools are present on App Source. What you can do is you can go ahead and install a 15 days trial around it. If you need any assistance in configuration, we are happy to help you out, right? And yeah, we can take it from there. For now, I'm just taking your leave. Thank you so much for joining the call, joining the webinar. It was a pleasure presenting all these three tools to you guys. Let me know if you want to have a personalized demonstration. You can reach out to us at Inogic, crm@inogic.com, or these are our social media handles. You can just reach out to us, right? Thank you so much for joining. I'll take your leave.